Knicks fall in game 2, which is a terrible loss. And nobody should be happy about it. It's going to be hard to find these silver linings. They fall 107-106 to the Hawks here in game 2 at Madison Square Garden. The series is now tied at 1. This is a game that we just talked about. The Knicks pretty much were in control for 3.5 quarters. The best fourth quarter team in net rating in the NBA this season. And that should have gave you confidence, but it sure did not look like that in this game. I will say this. I think this is a terrible loss. But I also will. I still think Knicks in 5, because it's like everything I always say. Stuff is about how you respond to adversity and get punched in the mouth. The Knicks played with their food in this one, and if you're a Knicks fan, you want to be pissed off about it. I think you have every right to be pissed off about it. They played
unlike
with
they have
their
in a
food.
while too.
I haven't seen them play with their food really like this all season. And here's the thing: people talk about this is what happened.
Yeah, that's one of their worst fourth quarters of the year.
Oh, easily. I mean, I was saying that as it was happening.
Yeah.
I was saying that as it was happening. This is the worst fourth quarter I've seen from the Knicks all season.
You're right.
Bad time for it to happen, but who cares? It's about how you bounce back from it. If you're gonna let this fourth quarter to the Atlanta Hawks derail your dreams, then you don't deserve to do it.
If they can't bounce back from this, they are not even close to what we thought they were.
Yeah,
that's as simple as this. The Halliburton shot, different situation.
Yeah.
Different team.
Different team.
Like,
that's a legit contending team.
That was a better
team. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. The shot is like falling in the way it did. This is...
And you still had overtime after and a chance to win, and you didn't.
And you didn't blow as big of a lead either. Like, this, you can't bounce back from this. It's time to blow it up. Like, that's as simple as that.
If this doesn't make you mad, fans should be mad, players should be mad, but, whatever. There's going to be a lot of blame that people are going to do. And I know it's going to come in the chat, and everybody's going to blame.
There's one person I know we cannot blame in this game.
And there's one person going to blame. And some of you are going to. I'm going to call it out right now. You're going to be lazy and blame Mike Brown. And that shit is lazy.
Oh, I was going to say.
It's lazy.
You're going to say Cat?
No, they cannot.
No, OG?
Cat. Well, OG too. Yeah. But Cat cannot get any blame in this game. Because I know it's going to happen. Either somebody's going to find a way to blame him.
They're going to say he didn't get enough touches in the fourth quarter.
And they're going to blame him for that.
Now, I don't think that is. Here's what I'll say to that. This is too simplified of what people do.
Okay.
Do not simplify it to just Cat should have got more touch in the fourth quarter. Let's talk about this in totality and reality. The offense needed to be more diverse in the fourth quarter. That would say, when you try to simplify and reduce it to one player, it's lazy, it's incorrect, it's not everything in basketball. The offense was diverse. You could say Mikal Bridges should have got more touch. You could say OG should have got more touch.
OG was in the corner a couple times. They missed.
You could say all that.
And Cat, to be fair, was in multiple two-man actions with Jalen Brunson where he didn't get the ball. Also.
And Brunson's got to finish the open shots. Like when they did run the two-man action at the end of the game, he's at the rim. You got to hit that.
Yeah.
And there were good looks that Brunson missed here.
Yeah.
He didn't hit him.
Now
you got to execute. Players of agency. I'll say that.
And now to that point. And I don't think people ever acknowledge this. And again, I love Tibbs. This is not to take a shot at Tibbs. Very close to Jalen Brunson. Do we think Mike Brown is going to go into the film sesh and be like, Jalen, you cannot do what you did in the fourth quarter? And this is somebody who's never criticized Brunson a day in his life.
Yes.
Like, I'm one of these people that Bryan was talking about that thinks he's going to get it either way. At the end of the game, I thought he was going to get it. He's got to go in that meeting and say, listen, we want you to take the big shots. Yeah. You cannot do what you did in the fourth quarter like that, when all we need is a couple buckets. We don't need hero ball. We just need a couple buckets.
Do you think Mike Brown will say that to him in the film session?
I do, because I think it's gotten him into trouble in multiple places.
So do I. I think he will say it to them. And here's the thing.
And you know what? The dad, Rick, better say the same thing to his son.
I think all the players have to say it.
Yeah.
Everybody in the locker room has to say, and this is why I'm so intrigued to hear from the players tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to take accountability and say they got to be better. Everybody says they got to be better. Sometimes people resort to old habits and everything you're seeing. Everybody had to be better. This is a bad job. And I'm sure Mike Brown's going to come in and say that he's got to be better. Sure. Do I think this comes down to coaching and the way people do? No, because it's the lazy button everybody wants to push. Oh, this didn't go right, this execute. If the Knicks, if Mikal Bridges set the shot, you wouldn't hear shit about coaching. And that's how you know it's nonsense that people say that. That's how you know it's nonsense. Because if Mikal Bridges hit the shot, Mike Brown's name, they'd have been like, glad Mike Brown, even though Mike Brown had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Josh Hart passed the ball ahead and it went to Mikal Bridges, and everybody would have said that. Mike Brown didn't draw up anything crazy there. It wasn't coaching. If Mikal Bridges had executed the shot, it still would have been a bad. I want to say this for me. I still would have said it would have been a bad fourth quarter. It would have been a win. I felt, hey, you got the win, but I wouldn't feel great about it.
Yeah. Also, they hit their free throws. There's a million things that, like, I'm not putting on him. He wasn't perfect, but I'm not putting that on him. Also, OG gets stripped at the rim. Brunson, multiple bad shots. Like, there's so many things, and this is not the blame. I'm not putting this on OG either, but he gets stripped at the rim. Mikal, again, plays tough early and then decides to, go Ben Simmons and stray away from the rim again.
Josh Hart, way more of a factor early on in the game also than late as well.
Everybody, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you all guys said that.
Yeah.
Everybody contributed to this collapse, whatever you want to call it, in the fourth quarter. Everybody was part of it, and all of them have to take responsibility.
100%.
Everybody has to take responsibility. I think we like to always point the finger and say what's wrong. They missed 10 free throws in this game. They hit half of those. We're not talking about this.
A lot of them were in the second half.
Yeah.
Also.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are the things. Free throws,
missed 2 down the stretch.
Not taking care of the ball. Those things are what cost you close games.
Maybe, yeah.
If that's what the Knicks are usually good at. So for those of you who want to jump on them, the Knicks have been good at this year, though. Hit free throws in close games, take care of the ball.
The reason they've been the best fourth quarter team by net rating, by scoring margin, whatever metric you want to look at, is because they execute. They out-execute teams in the fourth quarter. They didn't do that today. Like, they reverted back to a lot of the old Knick habits. Kind of like what – so this is like what the Celtics did last year. This is exactly like what the Celtics did last year.
Comp.
In those first 2 games against the Knicks, where it's like, they've been killing everybody from 3, but then they fell too in love with the 3, and they fell into the same shit that lost them series or got them into Game 7 against Miami years prior. And then Miami will make them pay for it at different points. The Knicks made them pay for it last year.
I love this.
And then the Knicks this year, they worked out a lot of those bad habits. They've been great in fourth quarters, and I know some of that's beating up on bad teams, but when you're ahead in scoring margin by more than a point on average than the next best team, you're ahead by a lot against the next best team in fourth quarters. So you've been so much better than everybody else, and now when the lights were brightest, you reverted back to old habits where it's just isolation Brunson heavy, and nobody else is really getting involved. You got guys standing around and watching, Cats being part of the 2-man game but not really getting the ball. And on the defensive end, Jalen Johnson actually coming to life a little bit, taking care of the Josh Hart matchup, and then also C.J. McCollum getting Jalen Brunson whenever he wanted up until the last possession where it was already too late.
And to your point, in the third quarter, they were attacking the rim. Even when the buckets were falling, Cat was crashing. OG at times crashed. They had guys crashing the rim, and then they did hit some of those shots close. Felt like the third quarter, the second they missed a couple shots inside, they just sat outside. Even when we said it, and this is not to blame Cat, but I'm saying, like, Cat got that ball and he kind of didn't set his feet, shot the three. Next play down, Brunson comes up, chucks a 3.
Yeah, we had somebody in the chat talk about, this was Louisville, 10 missed free throws, done. We won the rebound game, 47-36, though. We deserved the L.
It's crazy that you win the rebound game like that.
But to Louisville's point, and this is the stuff I hope more
Great call, Louisville.
Great call, Louisville. It's the little things that matter. Something else you said I want to get back to, because I feel like we talked way too much and given way too much attention to offense. Bryan, you were right. The Knicks did not get enough stops down the stretch. The defense, which was good in the start of the third quarter, was not good after that. From about 6, maybe 5 minutes on.
It was really good in the first
5 minutes on in the third quarter, it was not really good. You got to credit the Hawks. They stuck with their plan. They kept hunting the mismatches they wanted, and then they started to get some rhythm in it with Jalen Johnson. The defense part matters.
And Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga came to life.
Did the Knicks get a bit? The Knicks. We can talk about the Knicks offense, and it was terrible in the fourth quarter. We can talk all we want about that. Did we see the Knicks get a big stop in the fourth quarter? No. The defense did not do what it had to do. Part of basketball, you can talk. Don't give me the stuff about all you guys focus on offense. You got to talk about defense too. They did not get the stops. Defense is part of execution. They did not execute offensively. They did not get the stops. They did not take care of the ball. They did not hit free throws. I don't care what level of basketball you play. All coaches will tell you, do all that stuff together. It is a recipe for an L.
And the Hawks,
that's what happened.
And the Hawks they weren't running like an overly sophisticated offense either. It was like high screen, CJ McCollum, get the matchup you want, go to work. And that was kind of it. Occasionally you would have cutters too, and they did get burned by a couple cutters. Jonathan Kuminga actually attacked the basket. He got Jalen Brunson on the matchup too, where he was able to, on the switch, take advantage of that, and he got to the rim multiple times. But it wasn't like they were doing something unsolvable. You were getting stops earlier in the game on some of these same things, and now down the stretch in the fourth quarter, you blew it.
Right.
And Jalen Brunson again, like 39% shooting in this series. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think he'll figure it out. But at the same time, I do think he's taken a handful of shots in both games where you don't really need that at this time.
You know what this is similar to? Because I remember he struggled in the first 2 games against Detroit last year. Again, and I saw him figure it out. That's why I'm not as worried about it. Again, I'm really happy you brought up defense, because I think it's way too much focus on the offense, right? Way too much focus. And people are like, you know what? If you got stops, or maybe you took care of the ball, or you hit some free throws, even when you're not shooting bad, that's what happens to you. What are you laughing at?
Mark Sanchez, no relation, I don't think.
No, it's it's Miles' brother.
Says
they should sub you 3.
Shout out to the family.
No, don't do that.
No, he's a Celtics fan. No.
No shout out to him.
He said they should have subbed in U3.
No.
I think we're all retired from playing hoops.
My knees, we're tired.
I'm in a walking boot for my Achilles.
Yeah.
I'm not. Nobody's subbing me in to do anything.
And I box way more than I play ball now, and I don't think they need.
Mark's
I don't
a
think they
splinter
need
cell.
that.
He's probably he's a Celtics fan.
Mark is the opposite here.
I love him, but nah.
Couple other because we got a line. We're gonna have Mike Brown momentarily. Also,
we're gonna hear what he have to say.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna go right to his press conference. Then we're gonna react to it after we have.
Everybody hit the like
also.
button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned with us through this post game. We'll have more reaction to this.
And we're doing players
and
as well.
We'll hear from the players. We'll hear from Mike Brown. We want to hear your reaction. Send the comments, send the questions, and we will respond to them.
The other thing I want to say, too, about the defensive point of it, they hit some tough shots. Not every shot they hit, I hate, because I do this sometimes, I hate the excuse, they hit some tough shots. Not all of them were tough. And some of them they're put in a position where, there's a hand in their face, but that's the shot they want. And that's what it felt like. Like when you said with C.J. McCollum. Or with
he got to the
Johnson,
same spot over and over.
I'll give him a pass on the Walker corner 3, which was just, he took the shot, and that's a hand in the face. Not every play was like that.
Yeah.
C.J. McCollum was beating guys off the dribble, and he hit one tough shot.
He was getting 2 into the lane over and over. He did make the one tough shot over OG. Over OG in the corner, like the
it was the baseline jumper 2-pointer.
The Brandon Bass. And basically, for all the OGs out there,
if you know, you know.
But and
Mark Sanchez knows.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mark Sanchez will put some respect on Brandon Bass. But I think you just can't. It was the same mistake over and over. It's like you just saw it. You just saw it happening. And y'all saw it even before I did. But it's over and over, you're letting CJ do the same thing. Jalen Brunson, you're not even making it hard for them to defend. They know what's about to happen.
There was one play in where they sent a trap. It was Bridges at McCollum. And they were able to get that steal because OG expertly read it and jumped the passing lane to where it's trying to go and got the steal. So one time, it was after a timeout. The Knicks switched
the one off Kuminga.
And the Knicks were able to get a play on that. That was so, again, just want to tell people, they talked about that in the huddle, and then they adjusted and they switched up their defense a little bit. But there was too often what you're saying, Gallo. You are 100% right. Over and over, C.J. McCollum was comfortable getting to the spot.
We also stopped giving that ball up to, it wasn't always Kuminga, but to whoever was in that elbow position. He stops giving the ball up there because he knows what's up. And they were letting him go to his right, and I don't know, it was frustrating. And it's not, even defensively, it's not all on Brunson, because if he's deficient, you have to be able to cover that deficiency.
Yeah.
Right, the Knicks did a better job about that. And
I'm going to squeeze in a couple other comments here before we get to Mike Brown. Kev_Chata, who had a couple here, said, could more Alvarado have helped? I don't know about down the stretch, but I think he earned the minutes he earned. I don't know if that would have
maybe they just extended that run with that lineup.
He also said Bridges should guard McCullough. The problem with that is he's doing such a good job on Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah. Bridges has been great defensively.
That if Nickeil Alexander-Walker starts to percolate, as Clyde would say, then then who guards
Well, they put
him?
OG on him at the end, right?
Well, you can't.
They did because they were anticipating the switch and trying to protect against the switch.
And you can't. And you can't
the
get
switch that they would want.
And you're not gonna get away with that for a ton of possessions because of the size. Like if you put too much size on CJ, then you
Josh
have
Hart in no man's land.
Right. Then who's Josh Hart going to be on? He's still going to be with Jalen Johnson, and that's a problem here. You want to try to avoid that.
I don't want to kill Josh Hart. Josh Hart
he was great early
and particularly on Jalen Johnson. He was good in the first game. He was good for most of this game. He got it given to him at the end.
Yeah.
And specifically those 2 possessions.
Eventually, it was good. Like Jalen Johnson's an all-star caliber dude.
Good.
Like
He
like
was
at some point,
again,
the matchup for him is not ideal, but at some point you're going to wake up, especially when the dude guarding you is 6'4" and you're closer to 7 feet tall. He's not 7 feet tall.
I'm not killing.
Close.
I'm not.
You think Mike Brown is yelling at them right now? That's why.
Probably.
Mike Brown always takes long to come to the presser.
Hey,
okay.
Always.
Hey, if you know, you know, which it's an abbreviation of that, but in all caps. He has the all caps energy, which we get plenty of that up here, so welcome. The Hawks won because of their vets. CJ carried the team. Knicks fired Tibbs so they could outscore opponents, not play defense. If you wanted a defensive team, they would have kept Tibbs.
I don't agree.
They're better defensively this year, though.
I don't agree.
They were technically the better defensively this year. And to be fair, Mike Brown originated as a defensive-minded coach,
which people forget about.
He's more adaptable, which is why they got him to begin with. But again, whether or not
Tony Blattwell, he got fired from.
Right, but whether or not he's a
wait, no, was that? I might have mixed that up.
David Blatt.
David Blatt. Whether or not Mike Brown's a better coach is just going to be. We're just going to play the results on it. Everyone's just going to play the results. If they get to the conference finals, it'll be a debate. If he gets to the finals, he's better. If they lose to the Celtics next round, he's worse. And if you lose now, then he's fired.
And if this was Tibbs, we would have been saying, why did the defensive coach not get the stops? So they would have found an excuse no matter who was coaching, who was touching.
And I know you're not saying this.
We have Quinn Snyder. Do we care?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
What Quinn Snyder.
Yeah. So I don't look. I'm not going to completely absolve Mike Brown. Also,
no, he made mistakes, but
I don't think much of this comes down to coaching. I just think this is about execution.
NBA players will say
because here's the thing.
Yeah.
The Knicks go and win the next 3 games. Everybody's going to look at what you. It's about the coaching, about what you adjust to. So where I disagree with, if you know, is he said no, the Hawks won because of their vets and CJ carried their team.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Well, the vets played well, but the Knicks handed this game away.
He has 2 other comments I want to get to. Cat needs to demand the ball. He can't continue to sit on the side, watch JB ISO and bitch about it afterwards. Don't want the Knicks paying JB $50 million for ISO bullshit. And I think this is something that a lot of and he mentioned the one timeout. Again, on the broadcast, they showed no timeouts left, so we still got to get to the bottom of that. I think Mike Brown's going to talk about that at the presser. And he also mentions, I forgot today was 420. Shout out to everyone who celebrates 420.
Wait. If you know, you know. Are you saying there's a little puff pass going on?
Well, good for him, because I'm sure he's vibing right now.
But to answer the Cat thing, so when people do, because Knicks fans have mentioned to us all season, like, yo, Cat needs to get more touches, and I have said, like, yo, you're paid enough to where you would think when you get the ball, or you could demand the ball, but when you even get the ball, you can just go, even if it's not always the right move. So part of that has to be on Cat, but in this instance, no. I agree with people who say Cat should have been in more actions, but it goes more to the point of you needed to diversify the offense more down the stretch. Not specifically Cat, although Cat would have helped, but I think you just needed more other options outside of just Jalen Brunson, like McHale, cutting, Cat, pick and pop. Actions at the top of the key, and potentially as a roller as well. OG was standing in the corner wide open multiple times. They didn't hit him. Josh Hart slashing and potentially kicking or finishing at the rim. Like, you weren't able to get to those things. And I understand when you watch the NBA, and we've been watching the NBA for a long-ass time, we've been covering the NBA for a while, games break down, they get isolation heavy toward the end. But you can still run some of these actions that we're talking about and execute. So that's sort of where we're at.
I don't know if he is speaking, or if we're just a little behind, but there are a bunch of Mike Brown quotes.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually telling my producers. Mike Brown is talking right now, so I don't know if we have the right link. Mike Brown is talking right now.
Unless they're feeding it in the wrong order.
Maybe the play NBA is. Maybe they're feeding it in the wrong order.
Maybe the NBA, yeah.
Maybe the NBA is feeding, but because they're in
we want to just read?
They're in 2 rooms next to us. But what I will say is, like, I will give people some of the quotes that
we'll read some of the Mike Brown quotes.
I do want to say something. Our friend of the show, John Schmelk, said he did a tweet. Brunson did not play a good game. McCollum cooked him, and his decision-making offense was not ideal. Completely agree.
100%.
Here's a point he makes that I think is spot on. It's not just about demanding the ball. Cat was completely taken out of the game by Kuminga late. Could not agree
That's true,
more.
too.
Took him out as a screener. Cat did not make him pay on the offensive glass or otherwise. It can't be that easy. That's on Cat. He also said the coach and his teammates. This is the point I'm making. It's on everybody.
Yeah.
We don't have to do this after games as the basketball watch community. Oh, we got to point the finger away. It's just one person, or it would have been this one thing. When you lose a game like this, it is never one thing. It is a culmination of all things that happen over time. It is all the players. You want to say something to coach, take something to get. I agree with you. Mike Brown's not blameless, but I don't like this thing of being like, oh, this is on Mike Brown. Like, that's lazy.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do that.
We also have to take a step back, too, because I can already – it's going to be the talk tomorrow is Brunson doing too much.
Good.
But this is what happens when you are a dominant ball scorer. It's not the right move for him to dominate like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, though, I don't care what he's shooting. The last shot, I want him taking it. And obviously that last shot, they're not getting him the ball. But the one chance he did, he knocks it down.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to balance, like, that's not good enough offensively. But this can't turn into Brunson is not good enough.
Yeah.
Like, because we've seen it too many times.
You can't overreact to one game on either side. Like, you can't do this.
And this is also where Mike Brown's going to earn his respect.
Yeah, like that, but that's the thing.
How he adjusts this is where he impacts it.
I didn't think the Knicks were going 16-0. So let me just put that out there in case you thought that. I didn't think that. Mike Brown did respond. Apparently Knicks did have a timeout. So NBC, bad job. They did not have that up on there.
So he had a
Mike
timeout.
Brown said he did not want to use the timeout. We'll show this eventually because he didn't want the Hawks to get their best defenders in, and he likes not going against a set defense. I personally do not have a major problem for that. If I'm going to trust Mike Brown, I like calling timeout and running a play.
Me too.
Sometimes.
And sometimes you got to trust your best players to execute against their best defenders.
And if I'm going to give him credit for having a feel of the game, I'm not the rigid person. Some people are very rigid. You got to do this all the time. Don't believe that.
Yeah.
If I trust him to have a feel of the game and put Jose Alvarado in, then I have to also trust in the feel of the game and said, hey, well, he missed the second free throw. Josh Hart got the rebound. I trust him. Go. Okay. It didn't work. Every decision, and I said this with Jose Alvarado when he came in, every decision you make isn't going to work. You can't, I don't think coaching, I don't think life, I don't think playing, I don't think anything is robotic and rhythmic, and you have to do this thing all the time.
Right.
I don't.
Even though the AI overlords would disagree with you.
Yeah, but whatever. Okay, fine. But they also don't coach. Some of the coaching is about feel. And sometimes you're going to do stuff that works. The best coaches will do things that work. Sometimes they don't. Did I have a major problem with him not calling the timeout? No, I don't. Because here's the problem. It shouldn't have came down to that in the first place for me. All of that stuff is irrelevant. If you want to get mad about using the timeout or not using the timeout, I don't care. And if it shouldn't have came down to that.
And if Mikal made the shot, I think
nobody would say anything.
The tone would be different.
So I don't want to hear.
Are you interested in Knicks -1.5 for Game 3? Because that is the line that just opened at the conclusion of this. So they're favored, but barely.
Can I be honest with you?
It's close to pick 'em.
I can care less about what the line is.
A lot of people disputed that they didn't have a timeout.
Because of the NBC broadcast.
No, but like even Tommy Breer is going through, he just put out a graphic where
the
Knicks did not have a timeout left. The NBA teams are allowed a maximum of 2 timeouts in the final 3 minutes of the fourth.
I thought they were out.
Knicks used a timeout with 2:43 left in the fourth quarter and with 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter to set up the Brunson three-pointer.
So he didn't just so if that's true, if they had then he didn't have a timeout.
Because he's showing it here too, the fourth and fifth timeout.
Anyone who's watched basketball knows.
I didn't think you had
two timeouts. You have 2 timeouts to use in those last 3 minutes. Or look, even if you've only played 2K and don't watch a ton of actual basketball, you know this because your timeouts go from 3 to 2 if you don't use it.
Is James Edwards' quote, because that's the only one I've seen about him saying he had a timeout, is he saying if he had the timeout, he still wouldn't have used it?
Well, James Edwards' quote says he said he didn't want to use the timeout, so that the way James Edwards wrote that is as if he did have a timeout. But then again, I trust Tommy. I'm not saying I don't trust James Edwards.
I trust James also.
Who I like is a fantastic
Here we
reporter.
go.
Here's Mike Brown. All right, so here we go. We're going to listen to Mike Brown and hear what he has to say.
Give Atlanta a lot of credit. A couple of times we could have pulled away, and we didn't. They just kind of stayed with it. We just got to lock in a little bit better in a playoff game. It's tough to win against a good team when you shoot 60% from the free throw line. In a one possession game, we missed 10 free throws. One possession game, we have 14 turnovers for 18 points. So, that's how they beat us in transition, was off our turnovers. We had some bad turnovers that led to some early baskets for those guys in transition. So we have to do a better job taking care of the ball, do a better job from the free throw line. And, one of the things that we talked about was boxing out. We did a nice job boxing out. We have to keep putting bodies on bodies. For them to get 6 offensive rebounds is big for us. And then down the stretch, we got some pretty good looks. We got the ball in the right people's hands down the stretch, and we just didn't convert. So, like I said, at the end of the day, we got to lock in from the free throw line, and we got to take care of the ball. Those are the turnover part is something that they're good at, and they were good at that tonight. The last thing I would say is that, in that fourth quarter too, you could tell that they were playing with a level of desperation, and there were 4 50-50 balls, and they got 3 of the 4. And we always use that stat to gauge the level of aggression in a game, and in that fourth quarter, their aggression stepped up.
Mike, there were a few stretches there where you went with lineups that didn't have Jalen or Cat on the floor. Just wondering what you saw in those lineups and if you think that's kind of where the game got away a little bit.
No, I don't think so. We've played that lineup quite a bit since the end of the season, and that lineup's been pretty good. We weren't good tonight, and we turned the ball over a few too many times during that period. But we had opportunities where, our starters were in and we were up 8-10 and Atlanta closed it. So I wouldn't just say that specific lineup caused it.
Mike, you didn't use the use it or lose it that you had and then called that timeout with 2:43 left. Was just wondering what your logic was on the timeout with 2:43 after passing on the use it or lose it.
I apologize. I wish I can help you right now. I can't.
It was Jalen was in transition. You called. He was penetrating to the rim, going right.
Yeah, because we had, a couple of possessions weren't fluid, and so I wanted to make sure that we had something that we wanted to get to or to set something up offensively, because we had whiffed on the last couple of possessions. They just didn't look right or didn't feel right.
Not having a timeout on that final possession. What did you think of the final shot that Mikal got, and would you have used the timeout if you had one?
You know what? I usually like to go so they can't put in their best defenders and all that other stuff. 5 to 7 seconds is close. It would have been by gut feel, but there is a chance I could have taken a timeout. And then if I had one, and then there's a chance I wouldn't have. I thought it was a good shot. Mikal got up the floor. I thought he got to his spot. He was a little off balance. But I don't think the shot was under a ton of duress. That's shots that he's hit for us in the past.
Mike, just what's sort of your message to the team about bouncing back after this one?
The reality of it is, it's why these things are 7-game series. You got to keep taking it one possession, one quarter, one game at a time. And, Atlanta did what they wanted to do. They came in here and they took one from us at home. And, in my opinion, you got to be able to win on the road if you expect to get where you want to go to. And so for us, we got to go win on the road.
Jalen, 10 and 26. And what did you make of what you saw from him offensively?
I thought he got to his spots. I'm still trying to figure out, what's a bump and what's not a bump. You see a guy like CJ get to drive, and if you chest him, it's a foul. And I even asked the officials about it. Jalen's driving, and he's getting the same bump. Now he's not as light or as quick as CJ, so the speed may not be the same, but when he's going, he's getting hit and he's getting knocked away from the bucket. So trying to figure that out a little bit better is something that I need to do. But I thought Jalen got to his spots. I thought he could have got to the free throw line a couple of more times than 7 times throughout the course of the game, especially with as aggressive as he is to the rim. But it is what it is.
CJ seemed to like having Brunson on him late, got him around him a few times with baskets. I think you wound up switching off and trying to double him. What was it that you were seeing with that as CJ got going late?
Yeah, they put Alexander Walker and CJ in ball screens, and CJ hit a couple of big buckets late. He hit his, and we missed ours. And you give a guy like CJ a lot of credit. I mean, that's what those guys are supposed to do, and he got it done.
Like both games, I think it went from 19 to 8 or 6 in the fourth quarter last game, and then today they seem to score down the stretch almost every time they need it. Are you seeing something, common denominator there, whether it's not playing it for 48 minutes the right way or what?
Down the stretch? Yeah, again, like I said, you got to give CJ credit. He hit some tough shots, some of his shots, and we have to do a better job defensively on them. But they just put Alexander and Walker and CJ in pick and roll, and he ISO. It was just an ISO game down the stretch. They hit their shots, we missed our shots.
Coach, Cat kind of came out very aggressive and picked up where he left off from the second half and last game. Like, did you say anything to him pregame just about how you wanted him to kind of attack the rim and be effective this game?
No, Cat's a great player, so he's just got to impose his will on the game, and that's, I don't, like if he was a young guy, maybe I would need to say something to him, but as a veteran guy that's been an all-star as many times as he is, I don't need to tell him every game, hey, go be aggressive. He knows we need him to do that.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
I feel like our pace wasn't as good as it normally is. We're a team that, when we get stops, we can, play fast and get good looks, get good buckets, but, just we didn't execute as much as we wanted to.
John, so on a defensive end, CJ was able to get off tonight again. They continually put him in switches. What, I guess, defensively, strategically, were you guys trying to do with CJ?
Just force him into tough shots. He's a really good offensive player. He's going to make shots. I think obviously we could do a better job of being more physical with those kind of things, and contesting and rebounding.
Josh, I guess for you, what specifically makes this loss sting other than it being a loss? Is there anything that, I know you guys missed 10 free throws, 14 turnovers, which is kind of uncharacteristic. Is anything specific?
No, just all of it. This was a game we should have won. In the playoffs, we can't give away games. So, we all got to make sure we are locked in, watch the film of it, get better, and, go in and battle for Game 3.
Jalen, what did you think of your guys' process offensively in the fourth quarter?
We were a little stagnant. Obviously, I can control what I can control, and so poor decision making on my part. And a couple possessions, they played great defense, knocked the ball out of my hands. We just had to we got to play better with the lead. That's twice in the fourth quarter now that we've done that.
1-1 going to Atlanta. Obviously, this game was winnable. The group that you have in that locker room, what do you think about the idea
of regrouping and going down there? What do you guys have in there in terms of character?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this situation before. Obviously everyone is, frustrated with, this loss. And, we're going to go into game 3 with a great attention to detail and a great focus, for a full 48. We got high character guys, who respond well.
Question for Jalen. So when they first double team you in first quarter, the ball is moving pretty fluid, but in the end, the ball kind of just wasn't moving that much, but obviously you hit a big shots. Are you expecting to make some changes maybe down the stretch next game if things kind of happens when they start double team you?
Yeah, make better decisions and put my team in a position to win.
Last one.
Kind of for both of you in general, Cat's going off in the third quarter, but he basically stayed zeros in the second and the fourth. What do you think the team could do better to get him involved more evenly throughout the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we got to make sure he's involved. Find him on mismatches, put him in action, make sure we use his skill and his gravity to our advantage. And that's something that we'll look at film and be better with.
Jalen, when they got CJ and they're switching to get on you, what can you do differently to stop him when he's going like that?
Yeah, he was in a great rhythm. I got to disrupt it, make him play on his heels, make him react to me defensively, and he was just in a rhythm, and you got to give him a lot of credit.
You heard from Josh Hart. We heard from Mike Brown.
Yeah.
One of my biggest takeaways, quickly, for all of you out there who were ripping Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was not good.
He said it.
He said it himself.
Basically.
Isn't this is what you want from the captain? He said it. He wasn't bad. He's got to be better. And he used the word stagnant. So I almost got hit by my own crutches. He said it was stagnant. The offense absolutely was stagnant. And he said he's got to be better. Everybody's got to be
Make better decisions. Put his team in a better position to win.
Yeah. Sure. The other thing I got to, and I had taken a note of it too when Mike Brown said it, was it's tough to win against a good team when you miss 10 free throws. They had 18 points off of 14 turnovers. Mike Brown knows it's the little things in there. Mike Brown ain't out there shooting free throws.
Yeah.
You going to blame Mike Brown for the free throw shooting? I'm not saying Mike Brown's blameless here in this game.
Right.
You going to blame Mike Brown handling the ball, the turnovers? You going to blame Mike Brown for that?
Yeah.
I don't like when we ignore the little things in basketball to help you win. That's not on a coach. That is on players. The Knicks are a good team all season to take care of the ball. They're a good free throw shooting team. And the fourth quarter, and a good free throw shooting team. They didn't execute tonight in the fourth quarter. That is it. It is not that deep. It is a multitude of factors that came together over and over in time. Am I going to rip this team who's been really good in the fourth quarter all season long because they had a bad game in game 2? No. It's about what Josh Hart said. Are they going to bounce back in game 3? Are they going to pay attention to detail? And I think he said for a full 48. I believe that's what he said.
He said they didn't play at their typical pace.
No.
All that stuff is true.
Yeah.
They didn't close.
Even though it sounds like just just regular player speak, but still.
And he's also somebody who I think prefers to play at a higher speed.
For him, hell yeah.
Yeah, where I think that might not always. At times, you do have to slow it down when you have a lead.
Well, the thing is, that's something Atlanta would welcome, because if Atlanta, the smaller team, gets to play with more pace.
Sorry, I was laughing at
the poll.
Who made the Tommy? Is this you who made the poll?
It's so
oh, Steve Cohen was
who
there.
Who you blame for the game?
Fantastic.
Vote on the poll. Let us know.
This is one of the best moves by an asshole Yankee fan to put Steve Cohen as one of the options.
I was going to mention it before, but I didn't want to put that back.
But you know what's funny? Hey, the Knicks were winning until the man who owns the team that's lost 11 straight was in the building. Blame Steve Cohen. Makes sense to me. That's all
who do you blame for the Game 2 loss? Mike Brown, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, or Steve Cohen? Where's my other option where I could just say everybody?
Everybody.
You know, like
If I'm having to choose in that one, I'm saying Jalen Brunson.
if you have to choose.
Because you know
between
what
those
bothered me
four.
more, and I said it to him when you went to the bathroom.
I think he gets most of the blame pie of the four.
How many assists did he have at the end of the first quarter? 6?
No,
Or
4.
first
Yeah,
half. First half.
First half, sorry. First half, he had 6. No, I was
Six.
asking.
First half, he had 6. First
He
half,
had
he had 6.
1 in the second half. And I'm not saying that's all on him.
That
It's a
exemplifies
bad look.
the lack of ball movement. that
Yeah,
they
you're
have
not
on
saying
the
it's all
stretch.
in because you know that like to get assists, people also got to make shots.
And I don't
right?
think, for
But
me to
yes.
admit this, if my girlfriend's watching this right now, she's shocked. She probably thinks that maybe there's a chance that I'm going to deviate away from asking us to name our firstborn, Jalen Brunson. But I love the man.
You've done that?
The conversation has been had?
It has not been had.
That's
It
a
hasn't been a
yes.
conversation.
That's a yes.
It's been a very
That is
quickly,
such a yes.
I'll kill you.
Very good.
No, but
we have too many Jalen's. It's fine.
yeah, that's so awesome. They
Too many Jalen's.
even in this game, in this game,
This game, right? Yeah, we don't. We got 2 in this game. We don't need more.
It is frustrating, and I'm usually someone who will try to defend away the way he plays. Tonight, inexcusable. It's not just on him, but I would say he shoulders the blame. And I do think on most nights, him and Cat should shoulder the blame because they're the stars.
I think
just not Cat today.
They also asked. They were asked the players also about
Yeah.
Cat's involvement in getting him more
Right,
involved.
yes.
Right.
To which Josh Hart just
the same thing he said all season.
Yeah, getting him on switches and mismatches and whatever. Because I don't know what else you're gonna say like that.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else you're going to do in terms of you got to just be better. Now I'm with Gallo on this.
We had a comment earlier saying
If you
Cash should
want
just get the ball and just
if
go
you
more.
want to tell me who has the majority of the blame pie, yes, to me it's on Brunson, because we can't dance around the things we use and we like to say basketball wise. Oh, the point guard is an extension of the coach on the court. We like to say that all the time. Well, the point guard's job is to get the team going offensively. He didn't do that. I respect the point guard.
Also the defense.
And the defense. I
Probably
respect,
more so the
more
defense,
so. I
arguably.
respect the point guard and the captain for coming out and saying he wasn't good.
Yeah.
The offense was stagnant. But here's the thing. And fans are right if they want to feel what I'm going to say. The talk is cheap. You got to go out and show it in Game 3.
Yeah.
You got to pay attention to detail. 48 minutes, like Josh Hart said. The Knicks have their chance. The series is not over. The sky is not falling. Guys, the sky's not falling. The
This
Mets
is a
have
good
lost.
feeling, though.
The Mets have lost 11 straight games in April.
Yeah,
Like
the
we
sky
can-
is damn near on the ground there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we can relax here. And if you want to vote for Steve Cohen, and who I like
Wait,
as an owner,
we
I
had-
understand where
I
you're
like
coming
him too,
from.
but
We had a comment from Kev who said the Knicks were supposed to help me forget about the Mets, shaking my head.
Yo, here's the thing.
That's real.
Here's the thing.
That's real.
Shout out to Kev. Shout out to Kev. Because Kev,
That's right.
I understand what you're saying. And you said, you know what? If you want to sit here and tell me tonight was the night, Game 2, Monday night, Mets off day, you decided to have a little bit of different blue and orange fun, and you didn't get it, I understand why you're upset. Because now you got to go back to thinking tomorrow about that team that plays in Flushing.
You could have told me
and the
Jalen
fact that
Brunson
they
was
lost
Devin
11 games
Williams.
in a row.
Edwin Diaz hasn't been great either, but it still hurts.
Here's the thing. I get that you want the distraction. This is not a good loss. I will say it again.
Okay.
I do think people have to bring it down just a bit.
So temperature check, both of you. Level of concern for the series, 1 to 10. 10 being the most concerned, 1 being the least concerned. You're at a what?
3.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3.
In terms of them losing the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
what about in terms of this going 7?
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this.
I think Atlanta gets 1 more.
I don't feel great about my Knicks in 5 prediction anymore.
I will say I will have to agree with Gallo on that too. No. I
don't know if they're winning 3 straight.
No.
We haven't even gotten a good Atlanta game yet. They only played
But
well.
what makes you think a good Atlanta game is coming?
Atlanta's a good team.
No, but what makes you think a good Atlanta game? I'm not saying they're not a good
They haven't
team.
shot the ball well.
They might. This might have been. They
Young
might.
team,
All they might
playoffs.
get in the series is this good quarter.
I don't think. No. They're not.
That's
no.
all they might get in the
How did
series.
No.
How did the Pistons
But
go?
what is confident for you that they're going to put together a
Nikhil
good game?
Alexander Walker hasn't scored the ball well. Jalen Johnson hasn't put together 4
Neither has
quarters
Brunson,
yet.
though.
CJ McCollum's been great, but like their ancillary parts, like they could still play better. And we haven't even gotten like a more inconsistent Knicks effort. The Knicks were outplaying them for 3 quarters.
Yeah, but
3.5 quarters,
this is
really.
the point. That's the point I'm making. The Knicks have outplayed them in 7 of the 8
in
quarters.
New York.
In New York.
What have I been saying about the Knicks all year? They're not good against teams 500 or better on the road.
But
well under 500.
But
I think they're going to lose one of those 2 games.
To MSG in the A.
They're going to lose one of those 2 games.
I don't agree.
I think.
I don't agree.
I think.
I don't agree. I think
I had Knicks at 6,
I think you want your money, and you want the Knicks at 6. I think you want your money.
I don't
You want your money.
No, but I don't see how you say that. You see this and you're like, oh, they're not winning. They're not winning
sitting
another
here
game.
Okay, let me ask you this: if the Knicks dominated 7 of the 8 quarters, would we agree on that in these first 2 games?
Then Atlanta has
dominated
yet to
is probably a strong word.
Then Atlanta has yet to put together.
Dominated is a strong word. That's a little bit strong. Outplayed in 7 8 quarters. I will censor myself on that. Outplayed them in 7 8 quarters.
Yeah.
Why do I think they can outplay them in 7 of the next 8 quarters?
Because I think
actually winning
I
one
think
of those
Atlanta's capable of a little bit more than we've seen. Now, a lot of that will require shooting. Like, they need shooting to break in their direction. But they're capable of shooting 40-45% for a game. The Knicks did it in game 1.
I think the Knicks are. If you want to
Knicks
say
shot 50% from 3 for a lot of game 1, and then it ended up at 48.
I'm not sitting here saying that you're crazy. I never call you crazy. I love you. I'll never call you crazy. What I am saying is
one more. Look, they're not getting a series. They're not getting a series. One more.
I'm sticking. I'm sticking with my prediction.
Yeah.
And I'm saying they're not going to win
and
more.
this is me sticking with mine.
That's fine.
I said Knicks is
That's
6.
fine. Are you sticking with your prediction?
This is what Knicks is 6
You
looks
said you were shaky on the Knicks in 5. I'm standing on business. I'm still saying Knicks in 5.
All right, you know what? I'm Knicks in 5. Also,
there you go,
the reason why I'm saying that is they also lost game 2 last year, which I thought they lost game 3. I don't know why.
Oh, it's game 2.
And
game 2, yeah.
We did the same
and
thing
last year. They should have lost
year.
game 1, really.
Yeah.
It's not for campaign.
That is true. And in that series, the Knicks probably got. I mean, they dominated most of the game 1. They outplayed them.
Stylistically, that's a more difficult matchup, also.
And I think Detroit getting 2, to me, was more reasonable than this Atlanta team getting 2. I think the Knicks are going. I think we're going to know. I think that we're going to know very early in game 3.
Yeah, even if they don't win a blowout, we're going to know early if the Knicks respond or not.
My gut is that they split 3 and 4. I don't know in what order. I mean, I'd like to think
I
the
mean,
Knicks
if they lose game 3.
Right, I'd like
they lose game 3.
I'd like to think they take a 2-1 lead.
They lose game 3. We are going to have ourselves a fun post game.
Yeah.
And I would just sit here and be like, Bryan was right. I'll just say that.
But then I'm going to be like, you better win game 4.
Better? You think?
Yeah, and
if they lose game 3,
so that's
I don't like this juju we put out there.
My concern.
I don't even like the Bryan talking about
My
it.
concern level for the series is not high. I would. You both said 3. I'd probably say 4-ish or whatever. Now, my concern again is just like Atlanta shot the ball really well down the stretch, and they're a better shooting team than they've shown. So if some of these shots fall through, and if they need to generate cleaner looks. I feel like they definitely did that better in game 1 than in game 2.
Mm-hmm.
And in game 2, they out-executed the Knicks down the stretch and were able to get downhill mostly. It wasn't just a 3-point barrage. But if they do generate these looks better, and I've been saying they've been really good about generating corner threes down the stretch of the year and generating threes from the top of the key. And those are the areas where they can hurt the Knicks. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see like 43s go up in the next game and they hit a decent percentage of them. And then we're talking about like, oh, the shooting is breaking in their direction. That's how I see them losing the second game. Is like they're actually generating the shots, like doing the work to generate the shots. Quinn Snyder has 2 days now to try to look. This is how we generate corner threes. What we've been doing is not working. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you need to be off the ball more because Mikal Bridges is in your shit. So we need to get you coming off of screens and actually getting the threes that you like from the top of the key more because he likes those pull-up threes and he hasn't gotten to them consistently.
I think that what I will say to that is I think the Knicks are going to have to win a game in this series where Atlanta does shoot the ball really well.
I agree.
And I think they will get it. And they probably will come in one of these 2 games at home. With that being said, I think the Knicks are still capable of winning these next 2 games down in Atlanta.
I agree with
now,
that.
And
for the record.
If that happens, that will tell me a lot about this Knicks team going forward. I'm not somebody, you know me, I'm not somebody to overreact in the moment.
They can win the next
2 But you know what I want to see?
They're
I
absolutely capable of
do
that.
like a little adversity. They did not handle the adversity well in the 4th quarter tonight.
Which is surprising given what we've seen from them.
Yeah,
but they
you know
went
what I
back
want to see?
old
This is the
habits.
first time in the 2016 playoffs. We saw it last year. We just talked about game 2 against Detroit. They just punched you in the jaw. They gave you a little love tap on the jaw here at the end, and you're annoyed. Show me what you got. You got to pop out and show on Thursday. You got to show me what you got and come out and punch them back in the mouth.
You're gonna finish
quiet. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
Well, the other thing I want to say too is it's also how they respond early to. This is both teams. The Knicks, they might be playing like it might be a fist fight for the first quarter and a half for the
Game
home
3?
game. Yeah, against the Hawks. But now, young Hawks team playing at home for the first time, they come out hot. That is, we've saw it with the Knicks in 2021. I always go back to this. The OG alley-oop, or not OG, the OB top of the alley-oop.
OB.
And that team
Against Atlanta.
lost the adrenaline and completely got dog walked the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And is Atlanta, they come out hot, and the Knicks stay pace with them. The second that adrenaline wears off, are they going to be able to keep? C.J. McCollum will be able to do that. Walker probably will be able to do that because they are vets. They've been through that. Jalen Johnson.
And Keels have big playoff games too.
Yeah, like that's the
bench
thing
stuff.
where we're going to see what the Hawks also do. And the Knicks have to deal with adversity. Last year they were better on the road in the playoffs. This year, like you said, they've been worse on the road against good teams.
In the regular season.
And we got to, and I felt like it turned a little bit, but then they would always give you that one game. Like even against the Hawks, they played really well, came back, won that game, almost lost on the half-court shot. But we're going to know early, and I'm not saying the Knicks are going to be blowing them out, but we're going to know early if the Knicks respond, and are we going to feel confident about that response?
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're going to know early. It's not even if they come out the gate and they're out in the big lead. It's what you said. Do they survive? The Hawks are going to come with energy. Their crowd is going to be pumped up, but there's going to be a lot of Knicks fans in the building.
Yeah, I wonder how because you know how
it's not going to look like Philly.
Like what
you think about Philly a couple of years ago,
where they didn't allow.
No, Philly.
Who didn't allow?
No, Philly. No, it was Detroit.
It was Detroit, right?
Philly
last year.
is where in 23-24 the Knicks took over the building and bad job.
23-24.
Yeah.
24-25.
No,
was it for the playoffs last year?
No.
You're
2
saying
years ago. I'm telling you what happened. I'm like
Indiana
23-24.
And he's talking about Indiana and Detroit banned
Yes,
New York.
but it's
area
because
codes.
of what happened
in Philadelphia.
And they saw that. So last year in the first round, Detroit was like,
that's
we're
what I'm
shutting
asking.
that down.
Is Atlanta going to do that? I mean, they're already New Yorkers in Atlanta at all times anyway. But
yeah, I mean, listen, look, these teams can do whatever they want to do. You got to try to get your people in the building. They got to do whatever they got to do. Knicks, don't go to Magic City. Is all I'm saying. Stay away from Magic City.
Maybe Cat needs to go to Magic City.
No, he does not.
Man.
Jordan Woods.
Stay away from Magic City, guys.
Sorry.
Stay away.
Look. Some couples go together to establishments.
Stay away from Magic City.
I hear the wings are amazing.
That's not what there are. But not that I would know. But that's not what people go there.
I wouldn't know either.
They're not going there for the wings. The Hawks could do their Magic City night vibes. They can bring out Ti. They can bring out whoever they want to bring out.
If they bring out Magic City wings though, at the stadium, that might be a problem.
It might be. They're going to bring out the stops. They're going to bring out whoever they can. Like I said, they're going to bring out the Magic City wings. They're going to bring out Ti. Listen, the Knicks I hope the Knicks are mad. We'll find out. Because I'll tell you who's going to be mad. Y'all are going to be mad for the next 2 days of just anger.
This is also, I know I do this. I think I've done this with you guys before. And it gets tired after a while. It's also beautiful that we could freak out about one playoff game because we have thoughts of title contention and not that this might be the only series we get to play.
Well, we do have some comments also about that. So what do you think about this? Richard Joseph, 58-18
I don't know where this is
You're not slick, Richard Jefferson.
A real contender would not lose that game tonight, he says.
What did he feel about the Pistons going into the playoffs? Yeah.
Well, no, the Knicks fans, leave them Piston fans alone for a couple days also.
I think that people have this idea.
Unless Detroit lose games too. But
I think fans have this idea about how because this is how I feel about the league right now. I think OKC is on another. Like if OKC lost to Phoenix tomorrow, that would shock me.
Yeah, right.
But the rest of these, like if the Spurs lost to the Blazers, would that shock me? No, and I think they're a contender. The Pistons just lost to the
Pacers had a big comeback against OKC and still lost the finals.
Right. The Pistons just lost to the Magic.
Although
you can sit here and say the
Tyrese
Pistons are a 1 seed and they shouldn't lose to the Magic. They're a contender. These are chess matches. Things happen and change from game to game. I think people have an idea that a path should go like this. Those teams that usually blow through it are like really great teams. We're talking like the 01 Lakers or the 98 Bulls or the 96 Bulls, right? Like this doesn't happen all the time. OKC in the first round.
The Celtics won a title.
OKC is a contender. They had 7 games against the Nuggets last year.
Yeah.
And I think they're one of the best teams we've seen in terms of two-way. So this idea that the path is supposed to go like this so you don't lose this game, every contender generally, unless you're an all-time great team, has adversity on the way to the championship. It's about how you respond to that.
Especially now
so
that the league is better.
Yeah, the league is better. The league is more balanced.
More balanced.
Yeah, this is why I think you see less of this. So thinking that the Knicks shouldn't lose, do I think it's a bad Knicks loss? Yes. Do I think that like you're not a true contender because you lost this game? No, I don't.
We said the same thing last year when they lost to the Pistons, and they were in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right. That's
also, didn't the Celtics the first year they won with KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen? Didn't they go to 7 games with the 8th seed? And I think it was the Hawks.
Yep.
Oh man,
it was
right.
The Hawks, yeah.
Didn't they go to 7 games both series? Wasn't that the thing? Like they started off.
The conference finals the only time they didn't go, and the finals. The finals they went was six the first year.
The last LeBron Cavs year they went 7 with the Pacers, and then they went to the finals. Granted, they got swept, but still.
That's what I'm saying. There's no ideal path. How it goes.
There's not one way to do this.
It's one thing
the
that
Warriors
it sounds
won the
nice.
How many times?
It sounds like I've seen the Warriors down 2-1 and go on and win it. Like it sounds nice, and you want to say this. Everybody gets tested at some point in the playoffs. Yeah. If you thought it was going to be a cakewalk or nobody was going to get tested, that's just not how it goes. Especially in the NBA today. And I think that's why so many teams I just mentioned are teams of the Miami teams that we saw as great that won 2 titles in 4 years. They got tested. So I wouldn't say that they weren't ever a real contender. I just think that sounds like first take talk. That's what it sounds like. We don't do that here.
Say Knicks for clicks.
Yeah.
Edward says last year is over. Kev says if we lose next game, I'm left with the Jets draft.
Ugh,
well, actually, to be fair, the Jets draft is going to be happening during that game.
Oh yeah, you're gonna.
I won't be watching.
Y'all gonna experience both at the same time. Thank God I don't have a football team. Nostalgic Nick, welcome, Nostalgic Nick.
Nostalgic Nick, what's up?
Cat leaving this summer. Nobody wants to play alongside JB. We will have those conversations in the summer.
Oh my God!
Look.
Except for Giannis, who clearly wants to play with JB.
Well, I think somebody said that too later. Like, Giannis,
well, the thing is, however this run ends, like that's gonna lead into that conversation. So that's what I'm saying.
We have an all-time comment in here.
Yeah, and we have the summer.
Rex, Kev Chatter, OJ needs to go to Magic City so he can relax at the free throw line. I understand. I hear you. I maybe because he. Look,
confidence up.
The whole team. Magic City will make you confident.
He needs to be confident. He's so good, and he plays like he's not.
Hey, if you know, you know, says they want to play physical versus Jalen Brunson, which we mentioned over and over again during the film study that people just
Pacers
didn't know how to react to on Instagram.
Yeah. Yep, we said that.
They do the same shit. Oh, do the same shit to them, he says. Use Sohan for a couple of minutes and rough up their best shooter of that night. The problem is, offensively, you're just going to let Jeremy Sohan shoot threes, and they're going to park whoever they want, CJ McCollum or somebody on Jeremy Sohan and be like, knock yourself out. And I don't know if
I would do that.
I don't know if I would do that.
Just 2 minutes in a flagrant. That's all we need.
It's the chess, but it's the chess match that people want, right? But it's like you got to think what the cost is of that. And I'm like,
it might work for a stretch, but
also, is it fair to say that Diawara would be the more responsible answer
because
there?
He's an actual offensive threat.
Yes,
he's just young. I actually think he's got a real future.
I'm a huge Diawara fan.
I mean, or you don't play him so that you can sign him after the season.
Here's the thing. I'm a huge Diawara fan. I don't think anything matters. We're gonna wrap here. Final thoughts.
Marquise points out that Giannis wants to play with JB. Just wanted to get a couple blast ones. JJ Flames, FPSs. JB needs to get Cat involved more. 10 for 26. Come on, bro. Pass the ball. Also, 39% from the field in this series so far, Jalen Brunson. 19 of 48.
He's going to hit the dagger to send the Knicks to this.
That'll go up. That'll go up. He's weirdly, I think, 50% from 3. But he's getting to.
He missed all those layups. The rim was
missed a lot of easy shots that he did.
He's going to make some shots.
But he's also took a lot of bad shots.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a combination of both. And listen, there's a lot of people that could be blamed here. So final thoughts here. What do the Knicks need to do? Because I would even go and giving grades to people tonight. I was thinking about that, and I was like, I don't feel like giving out grades right now. Who wants to grade this test? This is one of these ones where you're just like, let's get rid of it. What do the Knicks need to absolutely must do? And we'll dive into this more for you guys in another episode that we'll be doing soon. What do the Knicks really need to do to get this Game 3 win? Because we're going to look at the good and bad in these 2 games.
Yeah.
But what do they need to do?
Diversify the offense, not just in the fourth quarter, but overall, and be consistent with that diversity in the offense that you established in the first quarter. Just carry it through. And the point of diversifying it is you're giving different looks throughout the game. So Mikal gets a couple minutes, OG gets a possession. Like, you have to be able to split it up. Obviously, Brunson and Towns, you would suspect, will get the most shots, but you have to be a little bit more balanced than you were, especially in that fourth quarter. Defensively, you have to defend better at the level, especially in crunch time. C.J. McCollum was getting to his spots way too easily, getting into the paint, getting 2 in the paint way too easily. Jonathan Kuminga was as well. I don't think we talked about that enough. We did mention it, but Jonathan Kuminga was getting comfortable too easily down the stretch. So I think you need to defend at the level better, top of the key, and overall defend better, like be on the string. Like, it felt like their paint defense was really good early on, Cat in particular, and then as the game got late, you saw a couple miscommunications, and you saw the backside get weakened up a little bit. So really, like, fortify that on the defensive end. And then with Mike Brown, I guess he would have to be the guy to implement those things, right? So, I think it needs to come from all parties. Like, I don't think it's just one thing. You could say shoot better, execute better, but, like, I think there are specific ways to get those things done.
Like yourself, Gallo, what has to happen for them to get a win and bounce back in Game 3? Because if they lose Game 3, everybody's going to lose their shit. So what's got to happen?
I think, as he said, diversifying the offense. Also, do not oversimplify it. Stick to what's getting you there. They were attacking the rim, and they started to settle. So don't settle offensively. Don't settle defensively. Also, like, they can't just allow them to pick apart Brunson with McCollum. And when they get those matchups where it's one-on-one with Hart and Johnson, they can't allow that also. And this is not something I need to see, but also I regret ever saying it's nice to see C.J. McCollum playing well again, because that was a terrible first quarter remark by me.
I blame you for saying that. I blame this man
I'm
for
trying
sitting
not to
here
bring it up,
saying
but
that the game was over.
That's in the back of my brain.
Y'all were more worried than me, and then
I wasn't worried. It was that you said it. I was worried.
As they kept doing the same shit over and over, I was like, guys.
All I kept saying is, I don't like this. I don't like this. I said this in the fourth quarter of Game 1.
Yeah, it felt like last season again.
I did. For the people, everybody in the chat, thank you for rocking with us, hitting that like button, that subscribe button.
Our poll us as well on our socials and our individual
Can we throw up one last poll for the people?
YouTubes.
Will the Knicks win Game 3, yes or no? I kind of want to know what the people think really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Will they win Game 3, yes or no? This poll that we have here, that one that just ended, 52% of you guys said that you blame 54%, Jalen Brunson is the person to blame for the Game 2 loss. Mike Brown with 34% of the vote. Steve Cohen beat Cat with 9% of the vote. Cat had 4%. And now we have it up in there. Will the Knicks win Game 3? Yes or no? What are you saying? Also hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
Got a couple no's already.
Thank you for everybody who's rocked with us through this post game. This has been very fun. I've seen a lot of good comments here in the chats. And if you like it, please hit me up and let us know on Thursday, because we're going to do a lot more. So on Thursday, definitely let me know if you guys are going to be rocking with us. Thursday, Bryan and I will be doing a post-game live show. Not doing a watch party Thursday, but we will be doing a post-game live show. So be tapping with us. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. And we will definitely be connecting with you guys. So a lot of good stuff from the people. Gallo, unfortunately for you, we thought you were going to be 2-0. You were so close, man.
Yeah, I do feel partially the blame for this.
No, you're not.
If you guys want, when we in the second round after these 5 games, I'll be back. Or if you want to go, before that, I'll be back. But
hey, here's what I got to say. Players have agency. Broadcasters, hosts have agency. Did you do your part? You showed up tonight. You gave effort. I give you an A.
I'll take that.
I'll tell you, I'm not giving an A. Anybody on the Knicks, nobody gets an A. You know what I'm saying? We showed up. The Knicks didn't show up in the fourth quarter. That's
right. I always show up.
We showed up. The Knicks did not show up in the fourth quarter. Right now, looking at 11 votes in already. Knicks winning Game 3. 64% of the people say yes. 38 say no.
I think that means 7 said yes and 4 said no, if that's 11.
That is correct.
Are you guys doing a watch party?
Wow,
after
that was a half-court
Game
shot
4?
by Jamal
We are
Murray.
doing one for Game 4.
More
So
than
after that watch party, tune into the fan because I'll be on probably after you guys. I'm doing the overnight. So,
So you're doing overnight Saturday?
Midnight to 5 a.m.
Oh, we'll
on
be
Saturday. Or no, Sunday morning.
Sunday
So
morning.
after Game 5.
Well, you're either going to have two things. You're going to have a lot of happy Knicks fans.
That's right. Getting
that
ready
they
for
will be
Game
up
5 at the Garden.
And up 3-1 with a chance to close
Yep.
it out. Or
Nervous.
probably a little bit more stressed because either it's 2-2 or they're down 3-1, which would be.
And the Mets will be on their 15th loss in a row. And
You got a question about who are the Giants drafting?
That is, at 5, no idea. I do not have the inside scoop on that. I do not know who the Giants are drafting at 5.
We'll ask Brandon London.
Brandon London might be the better guy to do that. Hey, Giants got 2 picks in the top 10. That should be fun. We are doing here at the Post. We will be having a live draft show that will be hosted by Ryan Sampson, Frankie Vittorini. Brandon London will be part of it too from the Giants Watch Party at Giants Stadium. So it will be fun. You guys should definitely tune into that. And then we have the live Knicks postgame show. We will have Brian and I will be a part of it.
Maybe
Maybe
game's
we'll
at
have
7, by the way.
7 o'clock tip. I like that. I like the
that.
7
so
o'clock
we'll
tip.
be a post game before 10, as long as there's no overtime.
I like it. Gonna give a couple last comments for you as we let some more votes come into. We see all the top teams are not playing with their food, but the Knicks somehow are. I mean, guys, this is the second.
Denver's playing with their food right now against Minnesota.
The Pistons are down 0-1.
Right, the Pistons are down 0-1.
And Pistons are down 0-1,
Guys, most teams have played 1 game. Some have played 2 in the playoffs. Like, we got to relax. Like, it's been a couple games. Like, we got to relax. Terry Clark says, when you don't respect your opponent, the opinion of this panel was that the Hawks should be done in 5. Well, except for Brian, he said 6.
I said 6, Terry.
This is not. And here's the thing, because I picked the Hawks in 5, the Knicks in 5, that doesn't mean I don't respect the opponent.
We also
I
didn't
do respect
suit up.
the Hawks.
I respect the Hawks more
I
than
don't
them.
respect the Hawks. I'm going to say it right now.
No,
I don't respect the Hawks.
You respect the money you want to win for the bet. I'm not
Who
hearing
said
that.
Who commented that?
Terry Clark.
I don't respect the Hawks. How about that?
Damn. Oh, well,
I do.
I didn't say that.
I think the Hawks are good.
Oh, Terry. Terry, you have to lead with this. This can't be your second comment, Terry. Welcome to the ATL. You're a Hawks fan. I hear you. You're going to be Terry, you got to tell me this.
Varsity's trash.
Terry was welcome to Atlanta. Terry, peace up, A-Town down. I know you were out here. You were looking for this content. You were like, can I find some Knicks fans to troll? I respect it. Here's what we're going to ask for you, Terry. Terry, you got to come to the post-game show. Win or lose, you got to show up on Thursday.
Night.
Don't duck. I'm going to remember your name, Terry Clark 3973. I'll remember your name, okay? Don't do it. We want to see you. Win or lose, I respect it. I respect you showing up. I just want you to show up consistently. That's all.
Hey, Terry, you remember Eugene Robinson?
That's a pull.
Well,
that is a pull there.
Broncos Falcons.
That is a pull. That is a pull there from Broncos.
As Met fans, we're not too fond of the Braves either.
28-3,
Terry.
Oh, Terry. I didn't say it, Terry. And I didn't say it. Kev Schauder says, I don't respect the Hawks not shaking hands after game 1.
Hey,
Kev, come on. Nobody shaking hands after game 1.
Look, I love Outkast. You know what
I do love Outkast.
Love T.I.
I like the Brat. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Young Jeezy.
T.I. is cool.
Shout out to Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, these are all.
But I gotta be.
We're talking about sports, though.
But we gotta be united with my man Kaz. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Hot 97. We ain't playing no Atlanta hip hop right now.
That's right.
We're not doing that. Straight New York here. That's what we're doing. We're not doing that at all. Here we go. All the Hawks fans are out in the chat. Ren Smith 8067. Let's go Hawks. Terry Clark, Ren Smith 8067. We like y'all. We appreciate y'all. And I want to be clear. We had Detroit fans last year with us, Pistons fans with us. They came in. They were very nice in the chat. They talked a little smack. They had fun. We all having fun.
fans less so.
Little Bow Wow, is that what that's?
That's a Little Bow Wow.
I do like Little Bow Wow.
Not as much, but
No, I want everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. It's all respectful. We have fun. It's a good time we have here on the New York Got Game.
I might have been listening to Outkast on the way here. They don't play for the Hawks, though. I'm sorry.
It
hit the shuffle. They're also my favorite.
Nah, I love Outkast.
I mean, it's hard not to like Outkast, bro. Don't you have an Outkast vinyl?
I don't.
You don't have Southern Playlist?
I don't own any Outkast vinyl.
That's my favorite Outkast.
I probably get it from my first vinyl.
I've told you this.
I'm sorry. I'm not playing no Atlanta hip hop.
You know what? It's done. Until the series is over, it's done.
Yeah.
No rubber band, man.
Yep.
No 24.
I almost put on some T.I. today and I caught myself.
Terry said, "Wait till you see the crowd at ATL." I do want to know, like, legitimately, like how many Knicks fans are going to be there.
But they also were live when I know it's 2021. They were pretty fired up.
I think it'd be better if it's like mostly Hawks fans. Like, I kind of think it'd be lame.
I want it to be a true road game.
Yeah, I want it to be a true road game. And the Hawks fans, like,
Atlanta, don't be like Philadelphia, is what we're saying. Don't do that.
Have some respect, okay?
Yeah, don't do that. Like, you want to see the Hawks? I listen. One of the things I love, and then we're gonna wrap here. One of the things I love is in the playoffs is this test. Well, another fun one is either being down 2-1 on the road, and what's your team made of? Tied 1-1, going to the road, what's your team made of? You got to love this test, love the process.
I also can't prove this, but I would love to know. One of the things I would love to know, because I'm not in the Hawks locker room, I would love to know how much CJ is really leading them, like trying to keep them grounded, trying to keep them calm and all these things, because he's one of the only guys on their team that's seen this before, extensively as a matter of fact. Like road playoff series, he had a legendary, like I think it was Game 7 in Denver several years ago when he was in Portland. So I wonder how much credit he gets. I would love for them to talk about this and practice over the next couple of days just to see. But that I would imagine he's leading at least by example at a bare minimum. So the Knicks are going to have to be ready. I thought it would go 6. So
Knicks and 5.
I feel like this is what Knicks and 6 looks like. We'll see.
Knicks and 5.
But
Knicks and 5.
Look, I know.
Terry's reignited me.
I know Knicks fans don't want to hear this, but like this has been a really good series so far.
It's fun.
It's been a fun.
People don't want any stress. They want 4-0 sweep, smooth sailing. It doesn't happen like that sometimes. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Once again, we appreciate all you guys for hitting the like button, subscribe button. Gallo, man, appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you guys so much.
See y'all Thursday night.
I'm sorry that you were not 2-0, but we appreciate you coming through. You will be back. We know you'll be back. Please check out Gallo for the New Yorkers. Check him out on the Fan Sunday morning. He'll be on after Game 4, 12 to 5.
Yes, 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Also weekly, if you want to see me make a fool of myself on the Carton Show, I'll be there as well.
Yes, you will be there too. I miss seeing you. I miss seeing you in the Fan Studios.
I do. I miss you guys too. Actually, I feel like we've gotten to hang out more,
which is crazy.
Yeah. Me and Bryan might have mushed the Knicks and the Mets in a matter of a month. So I didn't mean to put that on you, but we were pretty positive about the Mets about a month ago.
The Jets got my boy Geno Smith back, so.
Okay.
Oh, stop it. All right, on that note, we're going to be out of here. That is Bryan Fonseca. That is Anthony Gallo. I'm Dexter, and we've got a lot of content coming for you the next couple of days.
Win or lose, Hawks fans, come Thursday night. Have a good time.
Thursday night. Postgame show.
I respect your team more than they do.
Varsity's trash.
Bryan does not respect your team.
Yes, I do.
He respects
I wanted
winning
Knicks
the
Hawks.
money.
Knicks Raptors would have been boring. The Hawks are more competitive.
Content, and he's out here making sure his pick is right. Don't let him fool you. I know the truth.
No!
That is all I'm saying.
This is not
That's all I'm saying. On that note, the truth will set you free. Peace and love, everybody. We'll see you Thursday night, and with some recap on games 1 and 2 before that. More New York God Game content to come. Catch you next time. Another edition.
I like Outkast, but I like
New York God Game.
more.
He's not telling the truth, people.
50
He's
Cent.
not telling the truth, people. Peace, peace, peace. We're out.
And thanks for watching New York God Game. Boom shakalaka.